Think your POS system is your most powerful system? Well, it's a good one, but think again. The real game changer? A budget. Hey there, Restaurant Pro. This is Dave Scott Peters, restaurant expert, coach, and creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. Today, I'm going to blow your mind a little because the most important system in your restaurant isn't flashy, isn't expensive, and doesn't cook a single burger. It's your budget. And if you don't have one, you're flying blind. See, your budget, well, it's your GPS system. Think about it. It shows you where you're headed and if you're veering off course, because your budget is based on your past, but more importantly, what you want to do and how you want to achieve it. So if my food cost is high, I might implement the key item tracker, waste tracker, Restaurant Checkbook Guardian, and in month one, I'm going to teach them. I'm not going to see a change in my food cost. But in the second month, I'm going to hold my managers accountable and see a 2 to 3 point drop. But I'm going to work on menu engineering, which means recipe costing cards over the next 4 months. The fifth month is menu engineering. Month 6, I'm going to drop my food costs again another 5 points. I can proactively plan for success. See, it shows me the direction where I'm going, that when I put together last year's numbers as if I ran next year the same way, I can see what I'm going to make or I'm going to lose. I know the direction is downhill. Instead, I can put systems in place and decide what my future is going to look like and manage proactively. You control spending before the damage is done as well. All too often, restaurant owners and anybody like myself, I can justify any purchase. But without a budget, I can start buying things. And if I'm a restaurant owner, I buy that new piece of equipment. I buy a new POS system. I spend money on marketing. I do all these things without a plan. And the next thing you know, I don't have money. I'm banking on the future, but I've got no science behind it or numbers to know that I can afford it. Now, I love the optimism and the idea that don't worry, I'm going to make it work. But the reality is we add a little dose of reality and we know what we can spend, because we know in 3 months when sales are lower because we're a seasonal business and payroll is going to be rough, that I'm still going to leave enough money in the bank account to handle it. Because what does it do? A budget eliminates the surprise factor in cash flow. And what pays your bills, cash or profits? Cash is king. How about most owners guess? And that's dangerous. If you're hoping the bank account isn't empty, you're reacting, not managing. Again, I like to put it in perspective that I want us to proactively manage our business instead of reactively managing it. Right? When we're looking backwards all the time, it's too late. So guessing leads to overspending, poor margins, and burnout, because you're too often missing the mark. It's all a guess. And it's tough to just guess. Now, it does not mean our sales forecast isn't an educated guess. It does not mean our budget is an educated guess. But the beautiful part, again, is we proactively put the systems in place in order to achieve those numbers. See, you can't cut what you don't track. How do you know that you're overspending in paper supplies if we're not tracking, if we don't have a target to shoot for and tracking it? See, a part of a budget allows us to put into our forecast or what we think we're going to do. That's our plan, and we never hit our plan. And then we take our actual QuickBooks file and type it in onto the actuals, and we see where our variances are. Now we can see where our trouble spots are. Maybe we had systems in place that our managers aren't using, and I need to hold them accountable, retrain them, and put them back into place and change my budget going forward. Because when I was supposed to make $7,000 last month, but I made $3,000, I'm going to make that $4,000 back by making small changes in the rest of the year. Small, incremental changes, because I'm going to make the money I deserve. Now, what about if they actually use the systems and I still didn't achieve my numbers? What new systems am I going to put in place in order to change my reality and change the budget going forward? Budgets are powerful. Budgets lead to proactivity. How many times can I say this? I want you to be a proactive management team versus reactive. Paying attention to my P&Ls is the past. It's reactive. I can't change the past, but I can change and forge a future that's different. This allows me to set targets for my managers to hit, that we're not just crossing our fingers. Hey, you should reduce your food cost. No, I know that I started at a 38% food cost, and we are going to implement the key item tracker, the waste tracker, 2 clipboard systems, and the Restaurant Checkbook Guardian to give up ordering without giving up my checkbook. And I know in month 2, when I hold them accountable that I will reduce my food costs guaranteed 2 to 3 points the first time I put these systems in place. Again, it's solid targets to shoot for and the systems to achieve it. With a budget, I can plan marketing, I can plan for repairs, I can plan for raises. I cannot tell you how many times I've had phone calls with people who are in states where they've mandated minimum wage going up on a specific date. That in the budget, we can literally raise labor as if we kept the same employees, the same number of hours, and what that increase looks like and how it'll affect their bottom line. We can decide whether we need to cut labor and become more efficient, change our menu and reduce our cost of goods sold, or look down line items by line item by line item and operating expenses to make a change. You can proactively make decisions versus, holy crap, what's it mean to my business if labor goes up? It allows you to make intentional decisions instead of desperate ones. The number one system for predictability and profitability is your budget. Everything else, labor systems, food cost controls, depend on clear budget targets. Without it, you're just putting out fires instead of preventing them. Your budget is your plan for success. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus for those people. If you're listening to me right now and you're one of my coaching program members, you're in my group coaching program, here's the beautiful part. You should know this. That's part of one of the reasons why you joined. Our members, you're going to get a custom-built budget tailored to your restaurant. We don't just teach budgeting. We do it with you. It becomes the foundation of every financial win that's going forward. A budget isn't restrictive. It's freeing. It gives you clarity, control, and confidence. And if you're a member, again, of my coaching program, you don't have to start from scratch. We'll build it with you, for you. That's how restaurant pros take charge. Be sure to join me live every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, travel schedule permitting, where I'll get you pumped about the upcoming weekend, get you excited about crushing your goals and finding the motivation to be best you possible. Plus, I'll answer your burning questions live.